the lessons and the takeaways from the Anambra governorship election. What worked, what didn't, and what it all means for the road to 2027. This is Politics on Sunday. Let's begin. My guest on the program today is the governorship candidate of the AAC, Chioma Ifelemeduke. Hello, madam, and it's good to have you on the program.
Hello, Femi.
Good to see you. Well, the election has come and gone. A winner has been declared.
Sorry, I'd like to correct you. My name is Ife Melodike.
Ife Melodike Chioma, AAC governorship candidate. Yeah, thank you. I said the election has come and gone. A winner declared, and some others fell short. And you're one of those candidates that fell short. But overall, what's your fair assessment of the process? Speaking now as a candidate.
Yeah, it was quite poor, and I consider it rigged because of the level of vote buying that we experienced. It was totally appalling. The sight. It was disgusting. I'm sorry to use the word, but that was how I felt. How people without conscience were happily selling off their future and that of their children. I just, it was a very bad one. I've never seen that level of impunity, so it was a very poor outing for us as a party to witness. The institutions that should have monitored and made sure that this incident didn't happen, that these people didn't go about allowing our people to sell their conscience in that way. So it is totally unacceptable.
Yeah, Chioma, I saw a video of you speaking with some security agents complaining about this vote buying in broad daylight. These security agents, were they also helpless?
Yes, when I got to that particular ward, I thought I should introduce myself to the security officers there, because I'd already noticed what was happening. And then I brought to their attention, and they didn't particularly say they knew or they didn't know, but I noticed that, they were conscious that somebody was speaking to this. That means they were already in a comfort place with what was happening. And what I noticed at another point was I saw one of the policemen I spoke to going towards one of the areas where these people were giving the money to the voters, So he went and spoke to them in some way, and they all, started leaving that spot. So I assume from what I noticed that he probably warned them that someone was around. Yeah, so I don't know how, because if the security was collaborating with these people, then it becomes even more threatening. At some point, I felt that my security, was at stake, and I had to try to mobilize my people to join me at those wards, because I wanted to make sure I went around as many as the wards in my community. So some of the security men for the areas I went to were aware of what was happening.
Well, some people say for the vote buying, the blame should be on the doorstep of the security agents and the politicians. For INEC as the umpire now, what's your overall assessment of the way they conducted that election, bearing in mind that, the INEC chairman, Professor Joash Amokwito, this is his first outing, and it was like a litmus test for him?
Yes, like I said, in the technical aspects, like accreditation, we didn't see, even though there were some local governments that had the beavers didn't work very effectively, but there were very limited areas, and the accreditation was a bit seamless. So we can say that for that technical aspect, that there was a bit of improvement. But we are, emphasizing on the vote buying, because what is technicality without a transparent process? Why would electorate be induced in that magnitude, where was INEC? We had a stakeholders meeting and we agreed that this vote buying is destroying our society and that we collectively must do everything, all the institutions responsible must do everything possible, because where is the right, the free rights for the voters to vote? Why were the INEC ad hoc staff or the INEC staff who were there present, why was it happening to that level? And everybody just kept quiet and allowed the process to continue until the evening when we started seeing arrests by EFCC. It was EFCC that arrested about 3 people. At least while I was at Eziowole, and I was getting calls from other local governments that the votes it was largely, massively bought. We have gotten reports even online where people reported, the same case of the votes being, the transaction happening at the polling unit.
All right,
Where was INEC when this level of impunity was happening?
All right, Choma,